In 2026, our smartphones are more than just gadgets. They're our lifelines, connecting us to work, family, and friends every single day. But as we rely on them more, the privacy of our calls is increasingly under threat, often in ways we don't even realize. Not long ago, we trusted that our conversations were safe, protected by advanced encryption and security protocols. But today, hackers are finding new ways to exploit weaknesses in phone networks, using sophisticated tools and emerging technologies to eavesdrop on our most private moments. This isn't just science fiction. Real attacks are happening right now, exposing sensitive business deals, financial transactions, and deeply personal information. The consequences can be devastating: stolen bank details, leaked secrets, identity theft, or even blackmail that can ruin lives. Encryption alone isn't enough anymore. Attackers can bypass it by targeting flaws in the network or by compromising the physical device itself, sometimes without leaving a trace. Our sense of security is often just an illusion, and many people don't realize how vulnerable their calls really are. That's why it's crucial to understand these risks and take proactive steps to protect ourselves and our loved ones. In this video, we'll break down two major threats that are changing the landscape of phone call privacy. A futuristic AI-powered radar attack that can listen in without physical access, and a network exploit called ReVoLTE, which takes advantage of vulnerabilities in mobile networks. Knowing how these attacks work is the first step to defending your privacy and staying one step ahead of cybercriminals. The fight for digital privacy is ongoing, and in this battle, knowledge and awareness are your best defense. Let's dive in and uncover how your private calls can be exposed and what you can do to protect yourself. Imagine someone listening to your phone call without ever touching your phone, intercepting your signal, or even being noticed. It sounds like something out of a spy movie, but this is now a real-world threat. Researchers have developed a groundbreaking method using artificial intelligence and millimeter-wave radar to hear your private calls. By detecting incredibly tiny vibrations on your phone's surface, they can reconstruct what's being said without any physical contact or digital intrusion. When you use your phone's earpiece, it creates microscopic vibrations, so small you'd never notice them. Yet, these subtle movements can be picked up from as far as 10 feet away, even in a noisy environment. The attacker only needs to hide a radar device nearby, maybe tucked inside a bag, or concealed under a table or piece of furniture. From there, they can silently record your conversation without raising any suspicion. An advanced AI model, trained to interpret these vibration patterns, can then reconstruct your words with surprising accuracy. The technology is so sophisticated, it can even pick up on different voices and tones. What makes this attack especially dangerous is that it's completely passive. No software is installed, no network is hacked, and no one needs to touch your device. Just invisible radar waves, quietly gathering information. Encryption doesn't help because the attack happens after your phone has already decrypted the call. Even the strongest digital protections can't stop physical eavesdropping like this. Even the most secure phones designed for privacy are vulnerable if someone is physically close enough to use this technique. It's a reminder that physical security is just as important as digital security. As this technology becomes cheaper and more widely available, the risk of silent physical eavesdropping will only continue to grow. Devices that once belonged in labs are now within reach of anyone. The threat is real, and it's already here. Staying aware of these new risks is the first step in protecting your privacy in an increasingly connected world. Here's how the AI radar attack unfolds, step by step, revealing just how vulnerable our everyday devices can be to sophisticated surveillance. First, the attacker positions themselves within 10 feet of the target, blending into the environment with a concealed radar device carefully aimed at the victim's phone. This proximity is crucial for the attack to work effectively. As soon as a call begins, the radar emits high-frequency waves that travel invisibly through the air, bouncing off the phone and capturing the tiniest vibrations produced by the earpiece speaker. vibrations that are impossible to notice with the naked eye. These subtle vibrations are picked up and recorded as complex, raw data, which contains hidden traces of the conversation happening on the call. Next, the attacker transfers this data to a powerful computer and feeds it into a specially trained AI model designed specifically for this kind of signal analysis. The AI, which is adapted from cutting-edge speech recognition systems, analyzes the vibration patterns, deciphers the encoded information, and reconstructs the conversation with surprising accuracy. The result is often a partial transcript or even an audio file of your private call, sometimes clear enough to reveal highly sensitive details such as names, numbers, or confidential plans. What's truly alarming is that this entire process can happen in real time, right under your nose, without you ever suspecting a thing. Even if the AI misses a few words here and there, it can still extract crucial information, like passwords, meeting times, or other private data, that could be exploited. The attack is silent, lightning fast, and nearly impossible to detect with conventional security measures. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes, even the most advanced digital security can be bypassed by threats lurking in the physical world, especially when attackers are close by. While AI radar attacks are cutting edge, the ReVoLTE attack is a real-world threat today. It targets a flaw in how many 4G LTE networks handle encrypted calls. Instead of breaking the encryption, ReVoLTE exploits the fact that some cell towers reuse the same encryption key for multiple calls in quick succession. If a hacker knows the contents of one call, they can use that key to unlock a previous private conversation. This isn't a problem with the encryption itself, but with how some networks are set up. The vulnerability is widespread. Millions of calls worldwide could be at risk. Even after public warnings, many networks remain unpatched. Your private call could be exposed simply because your carrier hasn't fixed this flaw. Here's how a ReVoLTE attack works in practice. The attacker uses a radio sniffer to record your encrypted VoLTE call from nearby. Within seconds after your call ends, they call your number, forcing your phone to reconnect to the same vulnerable cell tower. The tower reuses the same encryption key for this new call. The attacker records their own call, where they know exactly what was said. By comparing their known audio with the encrypted data, they extract the reused key. With this key, they decrypt your original call, revealing your private conversation. The entire process can be done with off-the-shelf equipment and basic technical skills. If your carrier hasn't fixed this vulnerability, your calls are at risk. It's a simple trick with serious consequences. How likely are you to be targeted? The AI radar attack is still rare, mostly limited to well-funded organizations, but the technology is advancing fast. In a few years, it could be accessible to criminals or corporate spies. The ReVoLTE attack, however, is widespread and proven. In Germany, 80% of tested cell towers were vulnerable before patches. Many countries and carriers haven't fixed the flaw, leaving millions exposed. Even a short callback can let hackers decrypt the most critical part of your call. Your risk depends on your carrier's diligence, not just your own actions. Phone call privacy is only as strong as the weakest network. What does it take to pull off these attacks? The AI radar attack requires expensive, specialized radar equipment and advanced AI software. Currently out of reach for most, but that's changing. As radar chips and AI tools become cheaper, more people could attempt this attack. In contrast, the ReVoLTE attack is surprisingly affordable. A hacker needs a software-defined radio, a couple of smartphones, a laptop, and an antenna, about $7,000 in total. All the hardware is commercially available, and the attack method is well documented in research papers. This low barrier means criminals, private investigators, or even hobbyists could try it. The ReVoLTE threat is democratic. It doesn't require a nation-state's resources. As technology spreads, so does the risk. The tools are out there, it's just a matter of who decides to use them. That's why awareness is critical. Defending against these attacks isn't easy. For the AI radar attack, there's no reliable defense yet, no app can detect it, and no phone case can block it. Your best protection is situational awareness. Avoid sensitive calls in public spaces. For ReVoLTE, the real fix is up to mobile carriers. They must update their networks to stop reusing encryption keys. Some carriers have patched the flaw, but many haven't. Users can't fix this themselves, but researchers created an app to test for vulnerability, though it requires technical know-how. Ultimately, you must rely on your carrier's security practices. The privacy landscape is shifting. Device settings and apps aren't enough. We need both personal vigilance and corporate responsibility. Adopting safer habits is now essential. So, what can you do right now? Use end-to-end encrypted apps like Signal or WhatsApp for sensitive calls. These protect you even if the network is compromised. Avoid discussing private matters on regular phone calls, especially in public or crowded places. Use headphones instead of your phone's earpiece to reduce physical vibrations. Ask your carrier what steps they've taken to fix vulnerabilities like ReVoLTE. The more customers demand security, the more likely carriers are to act. Remember, privacy is a shared responsibility between you, your device, and your service provider. Stay informed about new threats and adapt your habits. In a world of invisible eavesdroppers, proactive steps are essential. Protect your conversations, because your privacy is worth it.